everyone. Scrappy Kathy here on a bright and beautiful Sunday morning. This normally would be Scrap Squad Sunday, but they've paused their regular weekly lifts that they post on Fridays for the 12 Days of Christmas Scraplifts. And I'm doing that, videoing my 12 lifts. And today, since I normally would be doing Scrap Squad Sunday, and I am committed to doing the 12 days of lifts, I'm going to do two layouts in one video. Two versions of the same design. This was the original lift that was posted, and pattern paper background, kind of busy, tags on each side of two photos, large title, kind of some snowflakes here and there. This is Keighley Brennan's really nicely controlled, orderly, beautiful interpretation of that. Now, Keighley scraps in A4, which to us in the States would be comparable to an 8.5 by 11 instead of 12 by 12. And so she has a little bit less real estate, especially going across the page. And so I'm going to interpret her version for a different photo. I have a single photo, and she's got an animal in her photo, and I have an animal in mine. And I'll add maybe one other style of tags. I've prepared most of the stuff. I have very few decisions to make, but we'll get started right away and see how we end up. I probably will not bring these back into view much, but I'm going to have them handy kind of right here on top of my trimmer, which I also hope I don't have to use. These are the supplies for the Keighley version, and I'm going to set those aside. I think that one will go together pretty quickly. My color scheme there is black, white, and red because my walls were red and my cat was black and white, and those are the main colors in there. This layout is I've been wanting to scrap these photos. I've pulled a little set of supplies that I might use. I've actually die cut some tags with my wonderful tag dies that my son and grandkids gave me last year. I'm not seeing it, so it's probably still over at the machine. I'm also using a Lawn Fawn Lawn Cuts Cole's ABC's alphabet for the title. I cut reinforcers for a couple of my tags out of an extra tag that came from Basic Gray. All of the supplies on this page are Basic Gray, except this matting paper and these tags, which are I believe it's a Fancy Pants or Bo Bunny. I forget which, and I think the labeling strip is gone from it. But the background paper that I'm using, and I know in the original post there was pattern paper, but it was a little bit busier than what I'm using. So go figure that I'm using something less busy. This is from the Dasher line, probably one of my favorite Christmas collections of all time. What I've done, and I hated doing this, mind you, is I've cut a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch from around the paper so that I can back it. And I have some choices for backing. And I thought after I'd cut all the tags, these tags come from Dasher and Figgy, I think. Figgy Pudding is what it's also called. Let me kind of put that there. I thought this is also from Dasher. This is kind of their signature pattern, and it's, if you see here, there are little dashing reindeer, and that's kind of where it gets its name. And this is kind of a repeating sort of abstract pattern throughout it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I originally had every intention of framing it that way. And I actually thought that would be amazing. But to be honest, I really don't want to blow this whole sheet of pattern paper on this. I know I could gut it, but I think I want to save it. I have no idea what I'll do with it. Okay, the next one was a sheet of paper. I have no idea what collection it comes from, but I used it to cut out these little evergreen boughs, I guess you'd call them. And I also cut out a little holly branch. I thought green might look nice with the red matted photo, and I'm still kind of considering that. And I like that idea because it's a piece of paper I've already cut into, and those cuts wouldn't show, so that's kind of cool. I liked this other, I had this other plain red, thought it might go when I got it over here. It's a kid's line called Best Friends from American Crafts from, I don't know, umpty zillion years ago. That's kind of cool, but I don't really like that tone of red. This one is Scarlet from Glitz Designs, and what I liked about it was that it has this kind of grungy blue design in it, but it doesn't really go. I'm kind of, I don't know, that's still in the running, the green is still in the running. Then I have this other sheet, again, I have no idea where this comes from. There's no branding strip on it, but it has kind of that grungy mixed media looking red that looks nice with these tags and with the matting on the photo. So I think this is the winner. You know, I'm gonna reject my own idea there, and I'm gonna go with this green. I just like that there's a kind of two-tone green, and both of those greens are in the Dasher line, and they'll show up on the tags. So I think it might bring out the green in the tags. Okay, so that's decided. I've already got the foam backing on here, so let me just glue that down. And then the hard part's going to be placing the tags so that the colors and designs show nicely. Okay, and then putting in all the smaller details. I have this assortment of tags that I've put ribbons onto. So obviously these are the ones I, earlier in the day when I was prepping for this, these are the ones I'd had in mind to use. This one is my favorite, and I love it a lot. However, it kind of blends in with that background. So I thought maybe it would be best maybe overlapping the photo. And this is a picture of my grandson just entertaining himself by sitting in one of the boxes that had just been unwrapped, and just, you know, being goofy, and I thought that was just an adorable photo. Let me put some foam here, just maybe to reinforce so it doesn't seem so paper thin, if you will. And it is relatively thin paper. The normal, it's cards. Oh my gosh, the tie. You know what? I'm not gonna make you go through that retying of that. So I'm going to put this here so that it and I'm going to use a red tag kind of underneath it, sticking out underneath it. And I'll put that on a piece of foam just so that it supports that blue tag, the part that's hanging off the photo. Okay, so that red overlaps the green. I kind of like that. Let me see if I can quickly get this ribbon back in there. This is really silky, maybe even real silk ribbon that I won in a contest that was sponsored by Crafty Ribbons, which is an Australian company. You know what? My fumble fingers are not going to allow me to do that on camera. It's just not gonna cooperate. Okay, then I'll come over here and put this tag there and layer this one maybe at a different angle. I want that bottom hole not to show, so I'm going to kind of do that. And I want to add in some of the blue here, so I'll put that one there, and I'll kind of accent the green here. I hate that these little red berries aren't going to show, but what I need is for the green to kind of come out. Okay, so this, I'll do a little bit of foam backing. And the layout's actually almost done, guys. It's that easy. It's such a simple design, but you can dress it up as much as you like. Get that. These come undone. What I need to do for storing in my albums is maybe get that on, put a dab of glue, liquid glue, right where the bow or the ribbon comes through. Okay, let me do that. And we'll dress that up a bit. That's in there. Let me pop this one up. In the original design, there were lots of evergreen bough type boughs sticking up, and there were some snowflakes. So I have a variety of things here. I kind of like putting something right here because this tag cluster doesn't go down as far as this one does, and I kind of want to squeeze my title right in there. So I'm just going to kind of put that down there. I've cut these little evergreen boughs out of that green paper I showed you a while ago, and they're green on one side and brown on the other, so I thought I maybe would mix them up and do, if I turn them upside down, they kind of go in a different direction. Let me put a little dab of glue here and kind of put that in right under the photo here. And then this other one, do the same thing, but on the other side. So it kind of gives these a little bit of dimension because they're in a little bit different colors. And I've got a snowflake that I thought I'd put on an uninteresting part of the photo and let it kind of overlap those evergreen boughs. Okay, that's good for that side. Let's see what we want to do here. I have a larger snowflake, and I thought I'd put it on top of this tag in a part of the tag that doesn't have a lot of design. In other words, I don't want to cover up this cute little bird. I've got this ornament that might work right there. So let's do that. Obviously, this is going to be the busier of the two layouts. The other one will have more, maybe more vivid, slightly less muted colors. Now I want to do some of these evergreen boughs, maybe on the lower part of the layout there. And that gives me some built-in dimension because I'm going to put one on top of the photo tucked under the tag, and the other I'll put flat on the paper, so it's naturally going to be lower. If I'd thought about it, I might have put the darker one, the brown, underneath. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to put these back in the to be used pile. I've got a couple of these left. But I don't think I need to use them. I have a cute little guy here. Not going to use those either. So here's where I'm so thrilled with this. Because he's playing in a box, I am titling this, I'm pretending I'm British today. I'm titling this Boxing Day, and I cut these letters out of that alphabet, and this is the piece of corrugated craft paper, and I already had the corners rounded. I think I may cut this off. I put it on here with the intent of just using the letters, but I actually like what's left, so the negative space. I think what I'm going to do is maybe cut the alphabet out of a different color, and whatever title I want, or yeah, I may just randomly fill in some of the letters, so that may show up on another layout at some point. But let me do this, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of finish this with these letters just dry fitted in place, and I'm going to cut that alphabet out of a brown, I have a piece of brown fun foam. I'm going to cut the letters out of that, and I'm going to mount these cardstock ones on top of the brown foam and make them thicker to make them give them a little bit of dimension. And so, and you know, actually I could use red, but I think all I have left is purple and brown. Maybe I have blue. Anyway, I'm going to do it out of some foam, but for now I'm going to call this layout finished. I'm going to do some journaling probably up in this area about the fact that we were kind of, you know, accustomed to seeing our cats climb into boxes after in the aftermath of Christmas, but we really got a kick out of seeing Barrett making himself at home. In this photo, he's actually leaning back. He actually folded this up so that he could lean back on it and kind of used it as a, I don't know, a recliner. He had his very own thing. He was about 2 at the time, 2 years and 3 months maybe. So that one's done. Let me pull up the other supplies. Okay, just to we'll go back and I'll look at the original here. The original here, obviously much busier paper, and it has a little word banner coming down from the corner there. I didn't include that, and I don't have any cute little word strips or anything there. I will do my journaling on strips, and instead of putting it down below, I'll put it up above. But I think this one is clearly inspired by that one, and I'm very happy with it. Okay, this one, Keighley's, is very simple, a large square photograph in the middle with just a couple tags really heavily layered and up on one another. This one has a little piece of ephemera that says "Be Merry." This one's a house, a couple little things, and whereas in this one there were no ribbons on the tags, and in Keighley's she's got a little twine there. I've actually reversed it. I actually put ribbons on my first one, and I'm not going to have any ribbons on the second one. So my colors are red, black, and white because in my photo the wall's very red and actually looks like kind of a basic gray pattern, and the cat is black and white. He's a tuxedo. And this is his white side, but you can see his black tail. His other side, he has a few more black splotches, or had. God bless him. He's moved across the Rainbow Bridge. Okay, so I have cut using my die cutting machine, my Tim Holtz Vagabond. I quickly cut some tags using the die that my son and grandkids gave me last year. And I did, this one's actually a handmade, like a pre-made tag. And I did these two out of, let's see, it's the Pinkfresh Oh Joy collection, and I used, so I have it in 6x6 paper pad, and I used 2 full sheets for these, and then I cut these little reinforcers out of the red paper that I used on the last layout, and then some white dotty paper there. The ones that were pre-made already had black reinforcers, and now I've lost the one I had. In any case, I may be able to get all that together at some point. Here it is. Okay, I die cut this little, or punched these little leaves out of the green paper that I used to mat or frame the last page, and then I die cut the little dots out of the scraps of this red paper that I had made a tag for the last layout. So there's a little bit of interaction between the two layouts. Now I noticed in this paper, I loved this print that had these little houses, and Keighley has a house in hers, but that house wasn't big enough, so I fussy cut a house that had red, a little red door. I fussy cut it from the 12 by 12 paper, and I'll find some more use for that. And where is this? I also fussy cut one of these little cute black and white trees. So we'll see how those fit on there. I've got several wood and chipboard snowflakes. I've got this little snowman that has a red scarf. I've got this Keep Calm and Twinkle On, which kind of seems like an appropriate sentiment. This little red tag that has a snowflake cut out of it, a red heart, a green tree, a green snowflake with a red button, and so I've got a variety of things that could go here. First thing I need to do is prop this guy up on foam so I can tuck things around. And as long as the things I tuck also have some foam, the foam doesn't really have to go all the way to the ends. So I can do that. And I did want it in the vertically there, so I'm going to do this. Just kind of glue it on. Again, not really going, oh. I did cut before I go on, I did cut some, and you know, I'm glad I didn't use this for the last layout. I cut 3/4 of an inch off one side, or off two sides, which leaves me 3/8 of an inch frame around, a little bit more of a frame than the last layout, because I'm actually trying to reduce the, now why do I turn that over? It's exactly the same on both sides. Okay, let me get this on here. This is, I really like the vivid color of this red, and it's different from the red in that solid piece of cardstock, this red, and I think it will go better with some of the other things. These tags might go with that, but I'm happy with that choice, and that red one is versatile enough to go anywhere, anytime. Okay, so now let's do this. I matted this photo in white and then on black and white diagonal stripes, which is my favorite matting choice. Get that down as straight as I can. And I thought I would just kind of start putting these on. Keighley has hers lined up really more straight, with us at a slight angle, so not at as much of an angle as. Yes, I'm glad I have those reinforcers there. I could do this one, and what I may do, I think what I'm going to do is just glue it in and not care which. I like the red color showing up at the back like this, and this one I want not to stick down too much below or any below. It's okay if it's at an angle there. And then I'm actually going to cut this one off so that I can, and I didn't think I'd have to use my trimmer. It's kind of hard to do because I keep knocking my lamp around with it. So this is good there. It's what I don't like is that it's black and white up against black and white, and it's not a very strong black and white. But if I hang it out and if I decorate it, it'll stand out. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. And what I'm gonna do maybe to make it stand out a bit. Oh, I know what I can do. I was gonna ink it, but I'm gonna ink it in a different way. I will doodle a frame around it. I just really want it to stand out more because it's the one in the front, and I've put these cute little holly leaves on it. I'm sorry for doing this on camera and not thinking about it before. Okay, that's good, and I'm gonna pop this one up on some foam. I didn't do the others on foam, but this one will have some, and it will be tucked there under that. Okay, and that's ready for some embellishing. Maybe we'll do the house, maybe we'll do the little snowman, and we could actually overlap with the snowman there. So I'm liking that. So here I want to do a little bit different order of things. I can put this one at the back, kind of sticking up the most. And I'll put the red one in the middle, and then the Christmas present one will show up nicely on top of this. I'll make that right there. And the problem with the Christmas present one is it's going to have to be cut kind of like that other one. So I need to cut it right about here. So we'll pull the trimmer back up. A year ago, if you'd told me I was going to set my trimmer on top of a page in progress, I would have said you were nuts, but the sacrifices you make for filming, right? Let me do this. And that works. You know what I might do is the same ink line, the same doodling around the edges here. We'll kind of make that stand out as well. And then we'll embellish. And I'm glad I called it doodling instead of anything any more precise, because I really just went. This is much easier to do if you haven't already put the foam on, in case you haven't figured that out. But we'll just call it a lesson learned. Okay, there we go. Okay, that works. Now, I've got this. This is yet another tag. It's the perfect color, but I'm gonna say we don't need any more. I want it to be a little more. I'm kind of going for something a little. I'm gonna put this little white snowflake. Maybe I'll put it here in this red field. I'm going for something a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of orderly and okay, let's see. I love this green snowflake with the red button, and I'm going to maybe put it here. I think I like the little house here. I'm gonna pop it up on a small piece of foam and see if I can tuck the tree. Let's see that. I'll have it hanging off there a little bit. Let me get that in frame. And I like my little this little tree here, and I wonder if I can layer this little tree there. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna put this tree on first because I want it to be tucked up kind of under the house. So I'll do that, and then I'll do that. And I'm actually just going to do that flat instead of popping it up because I like, with the green one being wood, already has some, some dimension there. The little snowman is kind of still hanging out there. The keep calm and twinkle on might work nicely here. I'm not liking that it has, there's kind of a rough edge when I tore it out of the, let me get this back in frame again. not watching that too well on this because I'm in a hurry so that this video isn't too terribly long. And I think that ship may have sailed. We'll go here with this, which kind of gives me my overlapping hearts. I've got these little bits of greenery that might look nice there. I'm going to glue them both on the green side because there really isn't any brown. I might have done them out of a brighter green color. I'm going to layer this little mint up here. It's kind of apropos of nothing, but it adds a little color. Well, since it adds color, why don't I take it away from here and I'll put it here. Yeah, we'll do that. And I'll do a snowflake here instead. Let me do a little glue on there. Again, we're getting close to the end, folks. There we go. And what else do I have that would make sense to use? This is an ornament. I really don't. That's kind of cute right there. I don't want to overdo it. In keeping with Keighley's really organized style, I'm just going to stop and introducing. I've already introduced this wood veneer, which is kind of a brown tone in a page that is a white, primarily white, and I think that's okay in small doses. The white in this mint is kind of cream as well. So what I'm going to do here is, again, this is a chipboard alpha from the November Mind the Scrap kit, I think. And again, I'm pretending to be British. I'm going to put this down, realizing that it's not going to stay. And I'll go back and glue it off camera. Poor Scout didn't quite know what to think of all of the house guests we had. He'd been with us. I mean, I guess he'd been there when they came down for Katie's first Christmas, but he managed to escape back into a room with my sister Patrice while she was listening to music. And this one, he was kind of out there and being played. The kids were older. Barrett was around, and Katie was older, and they wanted to play with him. And he'd been used to just being around us old folks, and he was really tired. And so I caught this picture of him on the couch, and it's one of my favorite photos. So that one's called Knackered, and that finishes layout number 2. So happy scrapping, everyone. I just love today's lift, and I've created 2 completely different looking pages, I think. And thank you very much to Keighley for the inspiration. I told her yesterday that I was going to bring some of hers. And you know what? I've decided to use the little snowman because I kind of got used to seeing him there, and it looks cute to have him up next to the house. And I actually brought a red marker to maybe color in the ribbons on some of these gifts, and I think I'll do that on one only, on the totally black and white page. So that works. So we've got the little door to the house over on this side, and then we have the crisscross ribbon over on this side. Okay, I'm done. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your patience, and have a happy weekend. Happy Sunday.